Online. Thank you. And today we're going to be talking about a remarkable online school, evolution.
Yes, we were talking about how important right now is education and the shift that we are going to need to do in the education system and within ourselves in order to have a more self-directed education, more empowering, that the student are curiously and enthusiastically learning things that they want to learn. So being a mystic and a spiritual teacher, I did open in 2020, just before the pandemic, a school called Evolution, and the name is about emphasizing for people that they are evolving, that we are in constant movement, and that humanity have, if we look back and see the human evolution, we see so much changes in relatively short time. And if we extend even 1 billion years or something, we see civilizations falling and rising and falling again, and physically our DNA and our consciousness is changing. But when we don't realize that we are changing, we realize that this is now, and this is the human race, and this is me, then we don't have a narrative, a story where we can hold on to see the projected self, or the one that is saying, you are important because you are putting the steps towards certain movement, certain consciousness. So being conscious that you're evolving give you perspective. And the evolution that we are doing now is about consciousness. It's about being more aware of our capabilities of creation and destruction and maintenance. And in that consciousness, naturally, we expand the individual self and say we need to do it together. You know, if it's a pandemic that is global, internet is global, economics is global, exchange of good, commerce is global. We have becoming a global identity and awareness. So, and we are evolving. Every moment we are evolving towards more awareness of our own role in the planet, and see what is it that we choose, and accordingly to what we choose we have certain outcome. So in that inspiration to do the Evolution online school was about creating different courses where people can lead to their own examination and see that they can liberate themselves, that the teacher is in the background, is leading, but you don't need that contact, personal contact. You need self-directed motivation to really wanting to explore yourself. So the platform have courses that invite you to see inwardly and to examine the truth of nature, the truth of your nature and what is in the way, with the purpose of rescuing your own freedom. And you have more empowerment because it's you reclaiming it. It's not the teacher telling you this or that, or it's you acquiring through the meditations or through the processes. So through the satsangs, you are acquiring the knowledge, and you can sync that knowledge and relate it to your own personal freedom.
Tell me a little bit more about how it works. Like, what kind of person would be interested in learning, and how does the learning work? So you mentioned meditations, satsangs. People might not know what a satsang is, or how is it all set up?
Well, it's set up, any person can take it. Any person that is interested in, that sincerely want to explore the within. And usually that person arrived to the school because of pain, because of longing, because of coincidence, because of its time. So anyone that land there is qualified, just to start with that.
There are no prerequisites.
There's no prerequisites. And if you find the site, or you by coincidence are here and ask and say, what is evolution? Okay. So you are already opening your way. And it works, as I say, with a series of conversations. First of all, I suggest that we start with a basics course that I call Practical Awakening, just to give you the basis of just calm down. Because as if you arrive with too much pain or too excited or so on, that's not the proper approach. So it's just to give you the basics of a calm living. And if you want that, just that is fine. If you want to go a little bit deeper, then it's a series of conversations and interactions with the students that stimulates you. And again, you can choose and different courses, and it will be the proper one. And if you don't know, then I am always available to suggest what is the best direction. So, but the important part is to see that the creation of that school is based in the need for people to know that they are evolving. How is evolution? What is evolution? What is required? That self-empowerment that is not done, that is something happening in the wild and in nature. Is you are nature and you are evolving, and the more conscious you are that you're evolving, the more you're able to gain your freedom and expand yourself to a more expressive way of cooperation in a global way. So it's meant for you to evolve, to understand that you are evolving and that your evolution is crucial for your freedom and the freedom of the human race.
Okay, yeah, because you've been a mystic and a teacher for many, many, many years, and you've offered many courses and have had different offerings over the years, and this is really something new and something different that has a purpose that even long-time students or new students are approaching with that certain mindset.
Yeah, it's in accordance to the need of the times.
Okay.
I always deliver things that are in the need of the time. And right now is crisis. There are political crises, there are economical crises. It will be some biological crisis in terms of health, in terms of food. And evolution is not happening without a little bit of stress, a little bit of pain, a little bit of, the birth of something that is significant within you. You always need to cross that period of unknown, and that it can be unsettling. However, when it's in a context that is because I am evolving, then that pain doesn't have that personal attachment. It's like if you give birth, If you have the labor pain and you know you're having pain because you are going through labor, then the psyche know how to integrate that. But if you have the pain and you don't know what is happening to you and why, then the pain have an entrenched in you an understanding. You are disempowered by pain. But if you are conscious of the pain and say it's because we're evolving, and then the pain is it have a different position in your psyche, and it's all just step out and say, oh, it's because the planet is definitely in a ride to evolve at the peak of certain change that cannot be denied right now. So what I have, what tools do I have? And the only tool you have is awareness. The only tool you have in that is consciousness. And to see that you're not alone, not because you want to save somebody, but because you have an unique information that is needed in the evolution, that is needed in the matrix of moving everything together. So everybody is invited to evolve, but nobody is ready to take full responsibility of the evolution itself. It just wants to keep the same things, but soon it will be obsolete. It's not going to work. So that is the main thing about why I was having the impulse to create evolution, why it is important right now for people to realize that it doesn't matter if you are in pain, you're evolving, it's natural. Just keep walking, just keep going. And the walking is about being passionate about your inner impulse of creation, because that is the formation seed for the next step.
Can you give me an example of what people might be feeling right now in terms of that needing to or wanting to evolve and their self-responsibility and their place in the world right now?
Fear is a tool, or should be a tool. Either you can get frozen in fear, or you can start realizing, oh, it's natural that I feel fear because I am walking in something that I don't know. I am evolving in something that I have no clue. How my job is now in the pandemics, for example. How my life look like. What is my impulse fitting in a complete different context. It may not last forever, but is inviting to use all the sensations, the emotions, the inspirations, to put it in a context that you're going to rebirth in a small scale or in a bigger scale. And if you are not agreeing with the evolution, you're going to die. Like humanity or the planet or evolution is not interested in saving a species, as we can see through history. Is interested in evolving constantly. And it doesn't care who stays and what goes. It's what is obsolete, what is not moving in the consciousness, in the level of consciousness, that the form that can sustain that. Like the dinosaurs, it may not sustain the consciousness at that time, and then it was done. This is something else, right? So we can be one of those species. And the way to save ourselves is by going with the change of consciousness, because that is the divine plan. That is the divine order. that is constantly giving feedback like you're changing, are you responding to change or not? And how you respond is by that feedback of the evolution, stimulate the cells within you that have the creative impulse of evolution to make you something different. So if you flow and you understand that, you will have less desire to hold on stuff, because you know the bigger plan, because that you know that you're belonging to a much greater movement, and you feel honored, you feel special, you feel that you are contributing in your small way or in a big way. But it's all a matter of expanding the bigger picture. Just you need to see the bigger picture, and evolution is a bigger picture.
So many people I hear saying during the pandemic, oh, when we go back to the way things were before, then this is not necessarily at all what you're talking about. Or
no, it may seem that way, but we are not the same when the wheel was invented, or the car, or the computer, and it will be inventions not only in the technology to make us very different, like what you will do if you have a bionic eye. You start having machines within your body. You may have longevity, much 300 years, what you will do because of technology and human combination, or so you won't be the same. It's not possible. Once it's invented, even simple things like Coca-Cola, nothing is the same after Coca-Cola. Nothing is the same after cigarettes. Nothing is the same. Neither are you. It's not possible. So the idea that you're not evolving is against evolution. It makes you suffer, and it makes you stagnate in a place where sooner or later you cannot fight with the force of evolution. You will crash and you will die. Not you as an identity, but as a race. So it's something that if we are more together in cooperating in the evolution and bringing together our inspiration, we're more happier, we're more complete, we're more engaged in incredible creativity, and we are more responsible for our freedom. We can put it in a context that is much more global. We coordinate better with Earth, if that makes sense.
It does make sense. So if people want to be part of the evolution school, what do they do?
Just click on your channel, I guess.
I'll have all the information. Okay. Thank you, Berdhanya.
You're welcome.